Hey guys, so you might be confused by the title. You might be thinking to yourself, why would you even want to do this? Because makeup to me is not trying to look as pretty as possible or trying to look better. It's the fun of creating a lot of different kinds of looks. And I thought, okay, let's see if I can do a look using the three colors that are most unflattering on me and see what happens. Also, there are other reasons why I wanted to do this video, because in yesterday's video, someone asked me if I would recreate the look that I did, and I basically said, I didn't say no, but I think they could probably tell by the comment that I wasn't going to recreate the look and why. One of the reasons why I don't like to do that is because I don't like to repeat. I do a different look every single day. I have a ton of makeup and I want to utilize as much of it as possible. So to go back and recreate the same look is not fun to me. And not only that, but I really struggled with that look. And the reason why I did is because I used a black eyeshadow to do it. I'm going to use a black eyeshadow again today because that's one of my most unflattering colors. But I'm going to use it in a different way. So I want to hopefully give you just a few little tips on making it less of a struggle to work with a black eyeshadow, because I feel like that is maybe the most difficult color to use. Like when you watch YouTube videos, how often do you see people use black eyeshadows? Almost never, right? Because it is a little more difficult and nobody wants to struggle to do their makeup. So I'm gonna show you that and talk about that. And also, one of the products that I'm going to use today is on sale, like a deep discount right now at Ulta. And I just wanted to tell you what I think about that product, and is it worth it for you to pick it up now where you can save a lot of money because it's on sale. All right, so let's get started. I've already done my makeup with the exception of my eyes. We're just going to do the eyes today. And all the products that I already have on will be listed in the description box. As always, I do that in every single one of my videos. And okay, I think that's all I want to say, like, for the intro. All right, everybody knows which colors don't look good on them. Most people have about 3 colors that they just know that those colors are very unflattering on them. For me, those colors are black, gold, and orange. Those colors just look so bad on me. So what I do is I do not own an orange top, just straight up orange. So if I want to wear something in that color family, I wear peach, because I feel like everyone can wear peach, even if they don't look good in orange. So that's one of the shades I'm going to use today in the look is peach. But the other 2 shades that I'm going to use, we're not going to cheat, if you will. I'm going to use black and I'm going to use gold. And I'm not going to use a flattering gold like I talked about in yesterday's video. I'm going to use an unflattering shade of gold. Just, you know, to make it a little bit more of a challenge and show you how I would use those colors. So let's start off priming my eyes with my Profusion Cosmetics No Budge eyeshadow primer. I think this is $4 at Walmart, and this is such a good eyeshadow primer. I've used this with tons of different eyeshadows now, all different formulas and brands, and no matter what I use it with, I'm happy with the way the eyeshadows perform. It is super concentrated though, so that is the most that you will want to use on one eye. You can use a brush if you want to, but I feel like you can really get a good blend if you use your finger, because you're using the warmth of your body to help blend out the product. But yeah, that's as much as you want to use for any eyeshadow primer, really. If you use more than that, it's just going to be a big cakey mess, and it's going to make the eyeshadows more difficult to work with. When I see how much eyeshadow primer most people use, like when I watch YouTube, it's like, yee, why? Why are you using so much? Do you think more is better? No. So yeah, I don't know why people do that. I think probably what happened is one person did it and then everybody else just fell in line and copied what that person did. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry down just a little bit while we dive into which eyeshadows I'm going to use. Okay, the first palette that I'm gonna use is not the one that I was talking about that's on sale. This is just another eyeshadow palette that has two of the colors in it that I had decided I wanted to use. It's got a peach. I'm going to use a shimmery peach, and I'm going to use an unflattering gold. So the palette that I'm going to use is the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Blood Sugar palette. Now I know a lot of you don't support Jeffree Star. I haven't bought from him in a while now, and going forward, I don't think that I probably will buy anything else from him for a ton of reasons. Number one being not any kind of controversy, but just because his palettes are so expensive, that there are tons of brands out there whose formula is just as good, but you don't have to pay $50-something for a palette. You know, I can get a lot of really good eyeshadow palettes, a whole bunch of them, for what it cost me just for one of his. So it's not that I think that the formula is bad. I think the formula is excellent, but it's too much. It's too much to spend for one palette. Okay, so let me see. I've got a ton of brushes on the table in front of me, and I'm going to use, which one am I going to start with? Let's start. I normally start in the crease, but today for some reason I want to start on my lids. I'm going to use my ES5 flat shader eyeshadow brush from Profusion. I went out, when I did my birthday haul, I forgot to tell you guys I bought a whole bunch of Profusion brushes, and I've been using them and I really like them. They've been used and washed and dried multiple times, and so far so good. Haven't had any issues. Yeah, I wish I had remembered to include that in my birthday haul video. Oh well. Okay, so we're going to start with that, and we're going to use the shade Candy Floss. And this is a shimmery peach. Really, really pretty shade. So if you don't have this palette, a light shimmery peach shade, you know, whatever you have, if you want to recreate this look, which remains to be seen. So I'm just going to put that on my lids. Yeah, that's a really pretty shade. See, that's totally wearable. Peach is a very universal color, I feel. Okay. Now, next we're going to go into the crease shade. And for that, we are going into another palette. Now, this is the one that I said is on sale at Ulta right now. This is the Morphe and Jeffree Star Artistry palette. Because this has a black in it. That other palette doesn't have a black. So the black is called Fast Lane. And it's just a matte black. I believe this is it 14 or 17? It's marked down to either 14 or 17 at Ulta right now. And would I repurchase this? I think I would. I like Morphe's eyeshadow formula. It has a lot of interesting colors and textures in it. My only criticism of this palette is, why do we need a whole row of golds? Gold, and there's more actually. I mean, this is a greenish gold. There's another gold right there. This one is like a matte beige, but these are all golds with the exception of that. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 golds in this palette. And like I said, gold is not flattering on me, not one of my favorite colors. But aside from that, I do like the palette. And the peachy colors in here, there's a ton of them. So that kind of goes good with the golds. But look at all the peaches. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 peach shades. So it's mostly a peachy gold palette with a few oddball shades mixed in, like this bright green and then this other like grungy green. And then you have 3, 4 pinks. And then a silver, gray, and black thrown in, which doesn't go with any of the other colors, really. But yeah, this is a very strange palette, but because I guess I don't have a lot of peaches and golds in my collection, maybe that's why this is worth it to me. And if I had been using the peaches and golds, I probably could have created a pretty look, even though those aren't the most flattering colors for me. But I guess my point is, yes, I think this is definitely worth, I forget if it's 14 or 17 at Ulta. But yeah, if you were interested in this before and you didn't pick it up when it was full price, I would say, yeah, get it now. And if you like peaches and golds, you're going to love this palette. Okay, so enough about that. All right, now we're going to use the matte black. Okay, why would you want to use a black, period? Because black is going to give you depth and dimension in a way that no other shadow could or would. You can do the same thing with a dark brown, but black is really going to go there. And it is, I feel, quite difficult to work with, but we're gonna do that today anyway, despite that fact. Okay, so we're gonna go into Fast Lane. I'm gonna use this AOA Studio High Def brush in E105. It's a pointed crease brush. And I'm going to very gently pick up a small amount of product out of this palette, because one thing you don't ever want to do is go into a black right away and pick up a lot of product, because every black is different. Some are more pigmented than others, and even if it's not that pigmented, you want to build it slowly, because there's no going back from that. You want to build it slowly, and that's just the best way to go about it. I like to do that with all my eyeshadows usually, unless I've used them before and I know that it's like a really light color and that it's okay to pack it on, like I did with that first color that I used. I knew that that was a super light shade and I could just go right in and pack that on. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start in the crease on the outside, and we're just going to kind of like dab that on very carefully. And then we're going to work backwards. Okay, now you can see I've deposited way more color on the outside, and then it's fading, but that's okay because that's kind of what you want. Okay, so I'm just going to keep dabbing my brush into the product and just picking up a little bit more at a time. Now, another thing you want to do is you want to put a little bit in the outside part of your lid, very, very carefully. And you want to take it out and connect it to what you did up here and create whatever shape you like to do with the outer part of your eyeshadow look, because everybody likes to create a different shape based on your eye shape or even just personal preference. So I'm going right into that outside edge there. You don't want any gaps. Okay, now I'm gonna figure out like what I want for my shape and how far do I want to go up. Just like you would with any other eyeshadow look, except for it's a little bit scarier when you're working with black. Okay, so dabbing my brush back in and taking this in. Okay, now if you look at this, you can see like that outer part there is gonna need more. Just a little bit at a time. Like so. Okay. Now I'm going to work on trying to get more color on the inner part of that crease. Okay, at this point, we are going to go into our third shade. So we're going to go back to the Blood Sugar palette, and we're going to use an Unflattering Gold. Okay, this shade right here, Donor. This is a very warm, chunky gold. And those kind of golds look horrible on me, but we're gonna go for it. Okay, I'm gonna use a different flat shader brush. This is a MAC 239 brush. And I'm gonna pick up some product. Be very careful with this shade because it is very chunky, very pigmented, and you might want to tap off your brush. Okay, now I'm gonna go right on the edge of where the black meets the peach. Now, if this had been like a light gold, I might have wanted to just pop some in the center. and do like a spotlight thing. But this is not that kind of gold. So because it's a darker shade of gold, it's going to look better towards the outside. Okay, now I'm blending it into the black. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the brush over because we want it, or you can just grab another clean flat shader brush if you have one handy. But I don't feel like getting up and getting another one. So I'm just going to flip the brush over. And now I'm going to blend that gold into where it meets the peach. Okay. Now we are going to grab a blending brush. This is a Profusion pointed crease brush. It's ES3. And we're going to blend the edge of the black. Okay, I wish I hadn't brought that in so much, and I just made a big mess over here. So this is why Q-tips were invented, or cotton swabs. Now you don't want to take any eye makeup remover because it's going to mess up your foundation, your concealer, everything. So you're just going to go in with this dry and just try to clean up where I just spread all that black. Yeah, you won't be able to see that, but there's a lot of product on that Q-tip. Okay, now I'm going to go in right on the edge there. Okay. Now I have been using the highlight shade. It's like a shimmery bone color. I've been using that as my eye look highlight shade for ever since I bought this palette. Let's see. Okay, this is just an e.l.f. contour brush. I just grabbed something that was small. And I'm going to do that as my brow bone highlight and inner corner. All right, now we need to do something underneath here. I'm going to use this Profusion small pointed brush. It's ES6. And I'm going to take some more of that, that gold donor shade. And I'm just going to press my brush into that eyeshadow. And we're going to put that right along the lower lash line. And blend. Okay, now I'm going to take a black eyeliner. This is CoverGirl Perfect Point Plus in the shade black Onyx. And I'm going to put that right on my waterline. And I'm also going to tightline. I'm going to curl my lashes. I'm going to take L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara and put that on my lower lashes. Milani, the Violet One Lash Primer. And you have to scrape off all the excess product because otherwise it's just going to be a big goopy mess. But even though it is a little messy to work with, it is so worth it. This is by far the best lash primer I've ever used. Okay, now we're going to go back into the mascara. Okay, I am going to grab another Q-tip and just blend out this inner black part again. Definitely went over too far there. That's better. You know what? I think maybe, should we go in a little further with that gold? No, I don't think so. Because it's an unflattering shade, you want to minimize the amount of it that you use. So I'm just going to leave it where the peach meets the black. Okay, I'm going to do the other eye off camera and be right back. Okay, so this is the finished look, and these are the most unflattering colors that I could use, and I don't think it looks great or maybe even good, but I don't think it looks horrible either. It's got kind of a spooky aesthetic to it. There's a lot of Halloween collections coming out right now, and I feel like maybe on a subliminal, subconscious level, that's why I've been wanting to do black with my eyeshadow, because I've been watching a lot of spooky stuff on my streaming services, and the Halloween collections are coming out. So yeah, I've been doing black in my eyeshadow now a lot lately. And yeah, it's not the easiest thing to do. And just in case you were wondering, because somebody might be thinking to themselves, well, why did you blend the edges of the eyeshadow out in the first place? Then you wouldn't have to do that cleanup afterwards, because you don't want harsh black lines. You kind of have to. You have to blend it out, or it's going to look really bad. It's going to look really stupid. So unfortunately, that's just one of the things that you have to deal with when you work with black eyeshadow, is you're going to have to blend out those edges or it's just not going to look good. So I find that dry Q-tips work the best. Like I said, don't try to use eye makeup remover on the Q-tip because it's going to mess up your foundation, your concealer, your powder, everything. Just, you can remove that black just with a dry Q-tip, and you can remove it from the upper part so that you can apply your highlight eyeshadow afterwards. And if there is any residual black there, that highlight color is gonna cover it up. So yeah, black, peach, and unflattering gold. And I would recommend the Morphe Jeffree Star palette. I think that, you know, for that price, you're getting a really good deal. And the Blood Sugar palette, I know, was on sale on Morphe's website too. I don't know if that is also still available. Let me check, and then I can let you know. Okay, I just checked, and the Blood Sugar palette is no longer available. It's sold out on the Morphe website, but that would have been a real good deal if you could have got in on that, because that palette was very expensive. It was like $52 and they were selling it for 30 something. So, but the regarding the Morphe Jeffree Star collab Artistry palette, that is also on the Morphe website for $18. I think it might be $17 on Ulta and $18 on Morphe. So yeah, that's still a really good deal, and grab it while you can. So that is it for today, you guys. Oh, and I just wanted to mention, since I was talking about unflattering colors and whatnot, for my lip product, if you look at the color of my lips, you would never think that this is what this would look like. But if you watched my Profusion Lip Dazzlers video, then you already know this, but this is the shade Perfect, because I felt like this one would coordinate best with this eye look. So it's like a brownish nude lipstick with a deep gold gloss, with a warm gold gloss. So that's what it looks like on. So that's why I wanted to do that Profusion Lip Dazzlers video, because, I mean, would you think, looking at this, that this is what it would look like on? So looks can be deceiving. So I wanted to use that one because of the deep gold gloss. So that's it for today, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I think I have proven that black eyeshadow is the most difficult eyeshadow color to work with, but it's fun. It's something different. I like the way it gives you that dimension on your eyes and just gives it a whole like spooky vibe. Perfect for Halloween. October is Thursday. Oh, and if you have been watching my doll videos, Friday is going to be the release of that Rainbow High animated web series that I kept talking about. It's supposed to be starting Friday. So if you want to see that, all you'd have to do is be subscribed to the Rainbow High YouTube channel, and it will show up in your subscription box. I have a feeling it's going to be really fun. So that's it for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.